Hello everybody, this is the part 3 of the chapter 2 of ACCA Business and Technology. Before watching this video, make sure you watch the part 1 and part 2 as well, the playlist of which is linked in the description box below. Make sure you watch the other videos as well so that you will be easily able to understand this video. So we have done till here in the previous video. Now we have other basic organization concepts. So these are the other basic organizational concepts which we'll be seeing. The first one is separation of direction and management. So direction, what does direction mean? Giving the team or giving the person or giving your department the direction where to go through, like the pathway. And management is managing the individuals or managing the workers. Ownership and management of larger organizations are often separated. This is especially common in larger companies where the owners elect directors to run the company on their behalf. So, when the companies are small, for example, the entrepreneurship firm which we have seen earlier, the owner and the manager is the same person. They manage the same thing and they are also the shareholders. But when the organization grows, we have various shareholders who provide capital, but so shareholders are the owners and they appoint directors, the people who look at the day-to-day operations. So they are different in larger companies, obviously, because one person cannot control the entire thing. So in order to ensure that directors are running the business in the best interests of the owners, many safeguards and controls are obviously put in place. That is another chapter we'll be seeing in the later chapters. Note that the direction and management may also be separated in larger organization. Directors may lack the time to deal with every issue that arises in the day-to-day running of the organization. So they will therefore appoint managers to undertake these tasks. So directors also are very busy and they might not be able to look at the day-to-day operations. They focus more on the larger issues. So because of that, they appoint managers. This leaves the directors free to focus on creating and managing the high-level strategies for the organization. While the managers focus on the day-to-day operation, we've just done it. For example, the directors may decide that the organization is going to launch a new product or will open a chain of new stores. The managers will be in charge of the decisions such as hiring and firing the junior staff. Okay, let's do the test your understanding for. In a small company, there is usually a divorce of ownership and control. Is the statement true or no? What did we just learn? Try to answer it yourself. So the statement is false because in smaller companies, ownership and control is done by the same person. We've seen it earlier in the entrepreneurship form. Moving on, we have scalar chain. What is scalar chain? This is a line of authority which can be traced up or down the chain of command from the most senior member of the staff to the most junior. Okay, so I'll explain it in an easier way. For example, you are the students, I am the teacher, this is the organization, right? So what is this? This table or this pathway? This is known as the scalar chain. This is known as the scalar chain. So what is a scalar chain? Scalar chain is the line of authority. So this is a line of authority, right? So that is known as scalar chain. It's simply the pathway of authority. Easy. Now we have what is span of control. Okay, I'll explain what is the span of control. So for example, I am a, let's say, teacher, and these are my students: student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5. How many students am I able to manage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So my span of control is 5 students. So if this is an organization, if this is a manager and these are few employees, 1, 2, 3, 4, so their span of control is the 4. So the number of people we are able to manage, the number of people whom we are responsible for, that is known as the span of control. The number of people or the people whom we are able to control, that is known as span of control. A manager's span of control is the number of people for whom he or she is directly responsible. So what are the factors of the span of control? Okay, let's do this. The nature of the work. Okay, so if I am a teacher, let's say, and if I have an exam paper to correct, So student 1, 2, student 3, student 4. If the exam paper has the same question, so I'll be able to correct all the papers simultaneously. It will be simple for me. Why? Because all the answers are the same, all are repetitive, so it is easy. If the second case, if the set of 1 is different, set of 2 is different, 3 is different, 4 is different, then I might take more time because the answers are not the same. So I'll have to check the different answer keys. So since the work is not repetitive, since the work is not simple, it is going to be difficult for me, right? That is the nature of the work. The more repetitive or simple the work, the wider the span of control can be. So when the work is simple, when the work is repetitive, then the span of control will be wider. The type of person. The more skilled and motivated the managers and the other staff members are, the wider the span of control can be. So the type of personnel. So when somebody is motivated, when somebody is like, all skilled, then the span of control will be wider, obviously, because more work can be done. Location of the personnel. So if all my students are in the same place, it is easy for me to teach. But if one is in another country, if the other person is in another city, then it is more difficult for me to manage them, right? So if the personnel are located locally, it takes relatively less time and effort to supervise them. This allows the span of control to become wider. So we got to know what is the span of control and what influences the nature of the work, the type of personnel, and the location of the personnel. Test your understanding. 5. Consider the following statement. The scalar chain relates to the number of people over whom a manager has authority. Is that true? A business with highly skilled, motivated members of the staff will tend to have a wider span of control. Giving you 2 minutes to find the answer to the question, and then you can check it with me. Okay, what is the following statements are correct? That is the question. So the first one, number of people. What was number of people? Was it scalar chain or span of control? It was span of control. So a business with highly skilled, motivated members will tend to have a wider span of control than a business with demotivated employees, which we've seen earlier. So the answer is only the second option is correct, which is B. Tall and flat organizations. A tall organization has many levels of management, a long scalar chain, and a narrow span of control. So when the scalar chain is long or tall, then the span of control is less. Because let's see it. A flat organization has fewer levels of management, a short scalar chain, and a wide span of control. So the first one we're seeing, this is a tall organization. Tall. So this has many. So when it's tall, the managerial levels are more. It's tall, right? So when it is tall, the scalar chain is tall. But see, for example, one person, he's responsible only for this and this. He's responsible only for this and this. He's responsible only for this and this. This and this. This and this. So what have we seen in a tall organization? The scalar chain is tall, yes, and the number of people one controls is less. So since the scalar chain is tall, the span of control is narrow because less people are in control of one person. What happens in a flat organization? The scalar chain is not tall, the scalar chain is short, but the span of control is wide. Why? Because see, one person is responsible for these many people. I hope that's clear. So, okay. So what have we seen? Tall and flat organization. A tall organization has a long scalar chain and then span of control is narrow. A flat organization has a short scalar chain but the span of control is wide. It is worth noting that tall organizations tend to be more bureaucratic and take longer to make decisions due to the large number of levels of management that need to be involved. Flat organizations tend to have weaker control and fewer chances of the employees to progress or being promoted. Okay. In a flat organization, there is a very less, career growth opportunity because there are only three positions. For example, there is only 1, 2, and 3, right? Three positions, 1, 2, 3. So if a person is here, they might get promoted to here, here, and here. That's it. It ends over here. Whereas in a tall organization, if a person is here, he'll get promoted to here, then here, then here, and then here. So the career growth opportunity is more here. Okay. And the about the decision making process, so when there is a tall organization, there are so many managerial levels to pass through. So it is very like the decision making process is slow over here. Whereas in a flat organization, there are only three levels. So it is relatively quicker decisions are made. Relatively, it is easier to make decisions. Let us read Test Your Understanding 6. If a managerial structure has many levels of management, is it likely to have narrow or wide span of control at each level of management? Has many levels of management. What does many level of management means? It is a tall structure. Tall structure has a longer scalar chain, right? And the span of control is narrow, which we've seen earlier. Offshoring. Offshoring refers to the process of outsourcing or relocating some of an organization's functions from one country to another, usually in an effort to reduce costs. So, offshoring is nothing but outsourcing, but in this, there are two countries involved. For example, many companies in the UK have moved their customer call centers to other countries like India because there is cheap labor over here. These countries have significantly lower wage rates than the UK, making the call centers cheaper for the offshoring company to operate. While the cost savings can be significant, offshoring can create additional problems for the organization, including problems with cultural differences and language barriers. Now we have shared services approach. What is shared services approach? If I have an organization, there is a management department, there is a food department, let's say, there is a beverage department. Everybody requires an IT sector. Everybody requires an IT facility for their products or for their departments. So there is a centralized department of IT where any of the department can take help from. That is known as shared services approach. This approach involves restructuring the provision of certain services within the organization so that instead of the service being found in several different parts of the organization, it is centralized into one specific part of the organization. For example, a medium sized business may have a couple of staff in each department, sales, production, that deal with IT for that part of the organization. So, a shared services approach would be to form a distinct IT department that all the IT staff were transferred into. This IT department would then offer IT services to the entire organization. This approach has advantages, which is improved quality of the service, improved consistency of the service, and cost savings to greater efficiency and reduced duplication of roles. So, cost savings happen, so there is greater efficiency and there is a consistency in the quality of the service, and the duplication is also reduced. Note that a shared services approach is more than simply centralizing the function into one place. Shared services often involves running the service, for example, IT, like a separate business within the organization and charging the rest of the organization for the use of the service. So, if one department uses the service of the IT department, then they have to pay for it. Centralization and decentralization. This is a very easy topic. So, we've done this in earlier grades as well, so I'm just reading it out. It is very easy to understand. Another method of analyzing structures is by reference to the level at which decisions are made. In a centralized structure, the upper levels of the organization hierarchy retain the authority to make decisions. In a decentralized structure, the authority to take decisions is passed down to units and people at lower levels. The factors that so centralization is when the senior members of the managers, the top level management retains the decision making authority with them, whereas decentralization is when they give the authority to the lower levels of the management as well. The factors that will affect the amount of decentralization are the management style, the ability of the management, geographic spread, and size of the organization. Moving on to the advantages and the disadvantages of decentralization are advantages of decentralization. So, when you decentralize the power, the senior management is free to concentrate on strategy, right? When you decentralize, then the better local decisions are made due to better local expertise. So, obviously, but like better motivation due to increased training and career path. So motivation is more because increased career path. So when the authority is decentralized, they have a long way to go. Quicker responsibility or responses or flexibility due to smaller chain of command. Since I can make the decision at a lower level as well, so the decision making process is done quickly. What are the disadvantages of decentralization? There is a loss of control by senior management, obviously. Dysfunctional decisions due to a lack of goal congruence. So, there is a lack of goal congruence because everybody has their own goal, and the decentralized departments might take decisions based on their own advantages, right? Poor decisions are made by inexperienced managers. Training costs. So, decentralization, when you decentralize the power, the training needs to be done. So, there is a lot of training costs involved. Duplication of roles within the organization. So, obviously, roles have been duplicated once you decentralize it. Extra costs in obtaining information. So, you need to gather information when you want to take decision. So, costs are extra in obtaining the information. Test your understanding 7. Which of the following is not a likely additional cost to an organization caused by decentralization? Which of the following is not additional cost? So, additional training costs are often required in a decentralized organization. This is true. Duplication of role leads to higher personal costs. We'll think about it. Extra costs of gathering information. This is true. Lost sales due to lack of local knowledge and expertise. Lost sales? Has that been mentioned anywhere earlier? No. We never said that the sales will get lost because of the lack of local knowledge, right? So the answer of the seventh question is D, because a decentralized business delegates decision making down. So this should allow for better local decisions made. So when better local decisions are made due to decentralization, there is an increase in sales and not a loss of sales. Test your understanding 8. How does the ability of employees affect the level of decentralization? Okay, so the more able the employees are, the more decisions they can be entrusted with. So there is the greater level of decentralization, right? So the employees are more able, then it is better for the organization. Moving on to levels of strategy within an organization, each level of management will have different roles and responsibilities. This is especially the case when it comes to developing a strategy or plan for the future or the organization. The Anthony triangle is a model that can be used to illustrate the types of strategic planning that will be made at each level of organization hierarchy. So, this is the Anthony triangle: strategic planning, tactical planning, operational planning. So, we know what strategic planning is: the leader, tactical planning is the middle level, operational planning is the core. So close your eyes and tell me, what did we just do? What is the top level of management? Strategic planning. What is the middle level planning? Tactical planning. What is the lower level planning? Operational planning. Different levels of planning. So this we've just done. What is the strategic planning? It is undertaken by the senior managers. It involves making long-term decisions for the entire organization. Tactical planning is undertaken by middle management. It tends to look at plans for specific divisions or departments and specifies how to use resources. Operational planning is undertaken by junior managers and supervisors. It is short-term, detailed, and practical. Moving on. The above planning levels could be applied to a supermarket as follows. Strategic planning should involve making plans for the whole business. This could involve which locations to open or close stores and whether to raise cash from investors. Tactical planning would be the creation of strategies for a particular supermarket. For example, decisions about special offers, local advertising, and products which should be stocked. Operational planning involve practical day-to-day strategies such as organizing shift patterns, deciding when to stock the shelves, advertising, etc. Note that in order to be successful, the levels of strategy will support each other. If a strategic decision is made to improve customer service, this must be supported by an appropriate tactical decisions. Okay. Let's come to test your understanding 9. A retail store selling electronics is currently deciding on how many units of its products it will need in order next month to meet the customer demand. So this would be, what would this be? This would be operational because it is based on where it's very detailed and very practical, and so the answer would be tactical. Okay. Moving on. Roles and functions of the main departments in a business organization. In spite of the structural differences, organizations usually have many similarities. So, some of the common departments are listed below. Research and development, what do? They improve existing products and develop new products. What are the key aspects? They anticipating customer needs, generating new ideas, testing and cost. Purchasing, according to acquiring the goods and services necessary for the business, so price and payment, quality, stock levels, etc. Production, so they convert raw materials into finished goods. And quality, cost, see, this is very easy, just pause the video and read it yourself. Let's do test your understanding 10. Which of the following is not a part of the responsibility of a research and development department? Improving existing product, it is. Developing new products, it is. Researching new technologies for application, this is. Researching the market demand of products. So the answer is D, because demand would be assessed by market research function within the marketing department. So that's not related to the R&D. Marketing. What is meant by marketing? Marketing is defined by the Chartered Institute of Marketing as the management process that identifies, anticipates, and supplies customer needs efficiently and profitably. The key emphasis is thus on customer needs, identifying and anticipating the needs. So, identifying and anticipating the needs of the customer is market research, supplying customer needs, which is product design and development, efficiency, which is distribution, profitability, which is pricing decisions and promotions. So, what are the 4 things we've done? Identifying and anticipating the needs, which is market research, supplying customer needs, which is product design and development, efficiency, which is distribution, profitability, which is pricing decisions and promotions. Now we have market versus product orientation. The emphasis. Moving on to marketing versus product orientation. So, what is marketing orientation? The emphasis in marketing on preempting and meeting customers' needs give rise to a belief system that places the customer at the center of organizational activity. This marketing orientation is a philosophy of business that permeates all areas, focusing attention towards the customer and believing deep within corporate culture that to meet the customer's needs better than competitors is the path to corporate success. So, according to marketing orientation, their ideology is that you have to meet the customer needs better than the competitors in order to succeed. That is the marketing orientation. Now we have product orientation. Management view is that success is achieved through producing goods and services of optimum quality The major task is to pursue improved research and development and extensive quality control services. While customers will generally welcome a better product, this approach also has its following dangers. So, before we do the dangers, product orientation is when their ideology is focusing on the quality of the product. So, the dangers are costs escalate in the pursuit of perfect product, and customers are no longer willing to pay the resulting price. The product may include features that customers do not want or value. So, it might be very expensive and customers would not want to pay, or else the features are not wanted by the customers. So, marketing orientation is when we meet the needs of the customers, and product orientation is based on the quality. Test your understanding 11. Marketing is mainly concerned with the following. What did we do? C. Anticipating and meeting customer needs. Now we have the marketing mix. The marketing mix is a set of controllable variables that firm blends to produce desired results from its chosen market. There are four types of basic elements in the marketing mix, which are product, place, promotion, and price. So, product. This includes product features, durability, design, brand, name, and packaging, range, after sales services, warranties, and guarantees. So, product features means durability, design, brand name, packaging, all these come under product. And in place, choice of distribution channels, transportation, stocks, and warehousing, management of those come in the product. Place. Promotion means distribution, which is advertising, personal selling, publicity, sales promotion techniques. Price levels, discounts, allowances, payment terms, and credit policy. Now we have the marketing mix additional detail. According to Kotler et al., the marketing mix is a set of controllable tactical marketing tools that the firm blends to produce the responses it wants in the target market. Okay, so marketing mix is concerned with how to influence customer demand, and it is primarily responsibility of marketing department. As outlined above, the mix is made up of price. An organization may attack its competitors by reducing the price or increasing the size for the same money. The question of price policy in terms of competitors may be stated: we will always sell at 1 to minus 2p below the market leaders. Promotion is based on the advertising, money back coupons, special prices, boosting sales without cutting price, whereas price cut may lead to a retailery war from competitors. A money off coupon is seen as a temporary initiative and competitors may ignore it. Place refers to outlets, geographic areas, and distribution channels. Some manufacturers have specified that only their goods can be sold in an outlet. Example, Mosca manufacture blah blah. So this is place. We know what place is. Moving on, we have product, which refers to anything offered for retention, acquisition, use, and consumption that might satisfy a want or a need. Products can be physical objects, services, persons, places, organizations, and ideas. An organization may choose to lead the competition by being best performer in these areas. Beyond the 4Ps, which is product, place, promotion, and price, we have people, processes, and physical evidence as well. So people means relates to both staff and the need to understand the customer needs. Processes, these are the systems through which the service is delivered. Physical evidence is testimonials and references. Now we have product issues. So first, see the product properly, and I'll explain it. First, try to understand it by yourself, giving you a minute for the same. Okay, so what have we seen? We are going to focus on product. So the middle circle is the core or the benefits of the services. So what actually the product is about, and what benefits or what are the services provided by the product actually. For example, if it's a phone, communication is the core benefit. The second circle is about the quality, packaging, features, brand name, capabilities, design. So it's basically the secondary items other than the service, like the same. The outer circle, the last circle, is the customer service, warranty, after sales support, installation, personal delivery, and credit. So that is not really not directly linked to the product, but it's about the after the product, the services which are provided. So the inner circle has the actual reason. The second circle has the quality and the definitions of the product, and the outer are basically the after sales stuff. So we know that the middle circle has the core of generic product, the second circle has the actual product, and the third one is the augmented or the extended product. Product issues. There are two main product issues to consider. Product definition. The main issue regarding the product is to define exactly what the product should be. Okay. And product positioning. With all of these factors, the question of product positioning is critical. How does this product compare with the offerings of its competitors? Is our product better? If so, in what way? A new car could be specialized as the following. Core or generic product is obviously the transportation. The actual product is range of engine sizes, different body shapes, etc. Augmented product is manufacturer's warranty, dealer's discounted service contract. Hope that's clear. And now we have product further consideration. The core product, what is the buyer really buying? The core product refers to the use, benefit, or problem solving service that the consumer is really buying when purchasing the product. The need which is to be fulfilled. The actual product is the tangible product. So the actual product is something which we can feel, which we can touch. Tangible means something which we can physically touch. Service that serves as the medium for receiving the core product benefits. The augmented product consists of the measures taken to help the consumer put the actual product to sustained use, including installation, delivery and credit, warranties and after sales service. A product therefore is more than a simple set of tangible features. Consumers tend to see product as complex bundles of benefits that satisfy their needs. Most important is how the customer perceives the product. They are looking at factors such as aesthetics and styling, durability, brand image, packaging, service and warranty, any of which might be enough to set the product apart from its competitors. Now we have pricing issues. There are four key considerations when deciding the price of the product. Cost. So the price must be high enough to make a profit. So the price must obviously be higher than the cost, so we get a profit. Customers, what are they willing to pay for? Competition. Is our price higher than the competitors? Corporate objectives. The price could be set low to gain market share in the beginning. So there are four key considerations while deciding a price, which is cost, customers, competition and the corporate objectives. Cost, customers, competition and the corporate objectives. These issues can be blended to give a range of pricing tactics, including the following. So what are the pricing tactics? Cost plus pricing. The cost per unit is calculated and the markup is added for the profit, obviously. Penetration pricing. Penetration is when it is initially entering the market. A low price is set to gain a market share. Perceived quality pricing. A high price is set to reflect or create an image of high quality. Why do we buy iPhones even though it's very expensive? That's because of the perceived quality pricing. We believe that as the price is high, then the quality is also good. Price discrimination. So different prices are set for the same product in different markets. Peak off and peak rail fares. For example, when the iPhone is released in the market, it is very high, but after some months the price drops. That is called as the price discrimination. Going rate price. Prices are set to match competitors. So going rate price is nothing but going rate price is when the prices are matching the competitors. Price skimming. High prices are set when a new product is launched. Later, the prices drop to increase high demand once the customers who are willing to pay more have been skimmed off. Okay, I'll just tell you the difference between price skimming and price discrimination again. So when An object is at peak, it comes in price discrimination. Okay, price skimming is when the customers are okay to pay a higher amount, so that is called as price skimming. So that range of customers are gone who are buying from the higher range of price, and now we are left with the lower price customers. So price discrimination is when in different markets we have different prices. Price differentiation discrimination. Price discrimination is when in the different markets we have different prices. Price skimming is when the initially it is set very high. Loss leaders. One product may be sold at a loss with the expectation that the customers will then go on and buy other more profitable products. Captive product pricing, that is used when customers must buy two products. The first is cheap to attract customers, but the second is expensive once they are captive. So captive product pricing. So where there are two products, one is cheap, so when you buy that you get used to it and you feel like buying the other one as well. So that is known as captive product pricing. Let's just quickly revise the pricing tactics. Cost plus pricing is the profit, penetration pricing is the initial price, per seat quality pricing is the apple. We've seen price discrimination is when different markets have different price. Going rate price, peak of in real phase, peak of peak real fares is also price discrimination. Going rate pricing is when you have to match the competitors. Price skimming is the apple example again. Increase, so that's price skimming. Loss leaders is when one of the product is a loss, so but then the other has a profit. And then we have captive product pricing is when there are two products. When a customer buys one, the first is cheap to attract, second is expensive. Now we have promotional issues. Promotion is essentially about market communication. The primary aim is to encourage the customers to buy the product by moving them along the AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action. Awareness, interest, desire, action. Towards this, firms will use a combination of different promotional techniques as part of their promotional mix, including advertising. Example, placing advertisements on various kinds of forms of communication. Sales promotion techniques, buy one get one free. Personal selling, door to door selling. Public relations, sponsoring sports events. So advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, and public relations. Now we have place issues, which is the distribution basically. So the key decision on the place is between selling direct in place. Here the manufacturer sells directly to the ultimate consumer without using any middlemen. Example, accountancy firms deal directly with their clients without recourse to brokers or any other middlemen. Selling indirect, here there's a channel strategy, could compromise a mixture of retailer, distributor, wholesalers, and shipping agents. Food distribution, for example, Zomato. Okay, read this case study. I'll explain it, giving you a minute again. Please do read it when I ask you to read it. That's for your own benefit. Different companies put different emphasis on each of the four components of the marketing mix. What are the four components? Price, place, promotion, product. For example, some companies place all the focus on making a good quality product. Other companies place on making it at a cheap price and emphasize the promotion and advertising. A manufacturer of desks might wish to sell both the consumer market and the industrial market for office furniture. The marketing mix selected might look with attractive dealer discount together. Okay, so basically they're explaining the fact that every company, every organization has various different tactics which they use. Someone focuses on price, someone focuses on quality, so it's different for everybody. An interesting comparison can be made between different firms in the same industry. Avon and Elizabeth Arden both sell cosmetics, but Avon relies on personal selling in the consumer's own home. Elizabeth Arden relies on extensive dealer network and heavy advertising expenditure. So some people focus on expenditure. It's not compulsory for everybody. Moving on to the test to understanding 12. Nile is an online retailer of game, DVDs and books. It is currently planning an upgrade to its website to make it easier for customers to find the items that they are looking for. Which of the does it relate to? So they are an online retailer. Now they want to upgrade their website. So given that the website is the main location Nile transacts business, making the site it is easier to use, improving Nile's place of business. So B, place. The strategic marketing process. The marketing process impacts the strategic planning process of an organization as follows. Strategic analysis of the firm and its business environment. Marketing analysis will include analysis of brand strength, product quality, reputation, analysis of competition, market research to determine market attractiveness, and detailed analysis of customer expectations and power. These are the strategic analysis of the firm and the business environment. Strategic choice. Marketing decisions will include decisions regarding which products to sell, segmenting potential markets, developing strategies for each of the marketing mix variables. Strategy implementation. Implementing marketing strategies will include setting budgets for advertising, setting targets for sales revenue, market share, brand awareness, monitoring and control. Strategic marketing. Strategic analysis. Market research can be carried out as follows. So what are the ways in which the market research can be followed? First one is desk research. Here use is made of information which already exists. So desk research is when the data with the government, everything already exists. You just work and you just research more on the data which is already existing. Field research. Field research is done by asking people chosen random for their views on products. Individuals are asked. So that is field research. And then we have test marketing, is when we have the product, we test it on people or we test it on ourselves with a stable population. Okay. So by doing this, we can take the suggestions and refine our products. So there are three types of market research or strategic analysis: desk research, field research, and test marketing. Strategic choice. Marketing can be segmented in many different ways. So geographic, the EU could be split into different countries. Demographic is age, sex, income, etc. Psychological, older people are more security conscious. Socioeconomic, class-based systems, A, B, C1, etc. So we can have attractive segments based on the following: size, growth prospects, intensity of competition. So what are the targeting strategies for the intensity of competition? Differentiated, where each segment is approached at a different marketing mix. Undifferentiated, where approach with some basic marketing mix. Food only offered one color, black. Concentrated, where one segment is targeted. So differentiated, then different marketing mix. Undifferentiated and concentrated. Test your understanding 13. Analysis of brand strength would come under which part of the strategic planning process? Brand strength. So we read it that strategic analysis. So strategic analysis would include an assessment of the firm's strengths and weaknesses, including the including the brand strength. We've done it earlier. See, we had 3. So in strategic analysis, we do market research, desk, field, and test marketing. Strategic choice, we have a choice on how to choose one. And in strategic implementation, we have how to implement it. Now we're done with the chapter. I hope it's very clear to you all. Let's do the practice questions. Test your understanding 14. The following 4 statements relate to either functional or divisional structure. Which of the statements relate to a functional structure? Okay, what was a functional structure? functional structure is when based on different functions departments are made. Enables access to economies of scale. No. Or yes. What's the answer? Enables access to economies of scale. We know that when there are different types of departments of based on the functions, then it leads to economies of scale. And then we have tends to cause duplication of roles. That is true. When you have different functions, there is a duplication of. It does not usually cope well with diversification. That's also true. 3 is also true. And then we have specialists may feel isolated. That's not true. So the answer is duplication of roles. Is that true? No. Why is it not true? I just said it was true. Tell me the error. Yeah. In product structure, in divisional structure, there is a duplication, but in functional structure, duplication is not there. So the answer is 1 and 3, which is option number B. Conflicting demands over allocation of resources is most likely to be a disadvantage for which type of organizational structure? Conflicting demands over allocation of resources. Okay, the answer is matrix structure. Why? It is because the main difficulty with matrix organizations is conflicts over lines of control, which lead to conflicting demands over allocation of resources. In matrix structure, allocation of resources is difficult because the line of control is unclear. Ali runs a small business making and selling garden ornaments. He has identified what he states is the best and most effective method of making the ornaments and forces his staff to use this process. Ali also designed a number of rigid processes that the staff have to follow relating to the range of issues, such as taking annual leave and recording the number of hours they are working for each day. Which of the following Mintzberg structural configuration mostly closely matches Ali's business? So Ali runs a small business. So the answer of test your understanding is A, which is machine bureaucracy. Am I right? Take a minute to tell me the answer. The business is highly standardized with emphasis on rules and procedures. This is typical of a bureaucratic environment, suggesting that either A or D. However, professional bureaucracies occur when the staff are highly skilled and are given a great degree of autonomy in decision making, which is clearly not happening in Ali's business. Test your understanding 7. H Limited is a manufacturing company. The work undertaken is simple, meaning that each manager looks after a large number of employees. Because of this, there are relatively few levels of management within the country. Which of the following is correct with regards to the structure of H Limited? Each manager looks after large, which means it is a flat organization. Since it is a flat organization, the scalar chain is short and the wide of control is more. So test your understanding 7, the answer is A. Test your understanding 8, which of the following would be a typical feature of a flat organization? Easy career progression for employees, false. Close supervision of employees by manager, true. Faster decision making, true. High levels of bureaucracy, false. So B or C, what is the answer? Closer supervision of employees by manager? It's not closer supervision because the span of control is a lot in flat organizations, so that's not true. The faster decision making, span of control in a flat organization is wide, so it's not true. So the answer is C, which is faster decision making. Test your understanding 19. Which of the following is an advantage of centralized decision making? Allow senior management to focus on high level strategic decisions. False. Better motivation for junior staff. False. Improved local decision. False. Avoidance of dysfunctional decision making. The answer is D. Moving on. Okay, try to solve this, giving you a minute, and then we'll decide. Okay. G Limited is a supermarket. It has three strategies in place to hire 50 new checkout operators within the next 5 weeks to help reduce customer queue times, to begin the sale of electronics in all stores within the next 2 years, to relocate one of its stores in town A to a new, more suitable site located by the store manager. Using the Anthony Triangle model, what would be each of these strategies be classified as? Strategy 1. So we have strategy 1, which is the to check out, wait one second, yeah, to hire 50 new checkout operators. Hiring new checkout operators. So strategy 1 is practical and it is short term because it's about hiring, so that is done by operational, not by anyone else, because it is short term and it is practical. So answer should be either B or D, the second one, to begin the sale of electronics in all stores within the years. So strategy 2 affects the whole business and it is long term, indicating it is a strategic plan. So it will be done by strategic because it is a long term thing. So B, the answer is B. Let's still see the third strategy, to relocate one of its stores to town A, more suitable site. So this one, strategy 3, affects a specific section of the business and it is made by middle management. Is that clear? So the answer is B. So the first one is done somewhere. Give me a second. Okay, so the short term things in which is practical, it is done by the operational, and if something which affects the entire organization, it is done by the strategic, and middle persons do something which is related to one store, whereas operational does the practical and short term things, and something which affects the entire organization is done by the strategic. Test your understanding 21. Peer PLC has created a new type of mobile phone. It took a number of years of research and development, and Peer are concerned that the company's rivals will quickly copy the phone and sell their own versions. Peer have therefore decided to sell the phone at a very high initial price per unit in order to quickly recoup the development cost. Once the rival products are launched, Peer will drop the price in order to compete more effectively. So, which pricing strategy have they used? Is it penetration? Not true. Is it going great? Let's think about it. Is it price skimming? Let's think about it. Is it perceived quality? Let's think about it. So the answer is price skimming, because we just saw that when initially they have higher prices, so that the customers who are willing to buy the higher prices, they buy and then they reduce the price. So this is price skimming. Test your understanding 22. Consider the following statement. Promotion involves the use of AIDA sequence, which stands for advertise, interest, desire and action. When looking at strategic marketing, setting budgets for adverts would occur at strategic implementation stage. What is correct? In 22, B is correct. Why? AIDA. A does not stand for A stands for awareness, not advertise. A stands for first, it begins with awareness. Awareness, interest, desire, and action. Okay, so one is wrong. It's not advertise, interest, desire, action. It's awareness, interest, desire, and action. So B is correct. The B, yeah. JPLC wishes to change its corporate structure. It has decided to outsource all of its non-core functions to external third parties. Which of the following boundary J is planning? Okay, so outsource non-core functions. The correct answer is D, which is hollow structure. Why? Because what we know that outsourcing non-core is always hollow organization. Virtual activities outsource functions including core, while modular have some components. So we know that modular and virtual are the other things. The hollow is when the non-core activities are outsourced. We've studied that earlier. Please rewind the video and watch it. A Limited is considering changing its organization structure. However, it is concerned about the possible drawbacks of which structure is selected. The two organization structures that are being considered are functional and matrix. Classify the following disadvantages as primarily relating to either A functional or B matrix. Large number of time consuming meeting. So A is matrix. So first one is matrix. So let me just write it. Large number of time consuming meeting is B. Dual command, which is also matrix. Difficulty coping with diversification is A. Overlap the authority between managers. So that is also matrix. So the answer is BBAB, right? Moving on, we have B. A Limited is also concerned about its marketing process, which it believes is currently ineffective. It is aware that there are 4 key aspects to the marketing function: product, place, promotion, and price. The following sentences contain gaps which specify the relevant aspect of the marketing function. A Limited feels it is important to consider the cost, customers, competition, and its own corporate objective. Select the aspect of the marketing function which appropriately fills the gap above. Okay. When thinking about A Limited feels it is important to consider the customer's corporate objectives, etc. with what? You are provided with the 4 C's in the statement which relate to pricing. So in the statement, we have cost, customers, competition, and corporate objective. This is related to D, price, which is related to D, price, not promotion, price. Select the aspect. Okay, A Limited is concerned that it is failing to communicate with the market, meaning the customers are not interested. So this includes weakness in A, promotion. I hope that's also easy. So that's it. We're done with the chapter 2 completely. I hope you revise the chapter on your own, and for more videos and for the exam kit solutions, stay tuned. And the playlist of the rest of the videos of ACC is linked in the description box below. Thank you.